All right, Lauren, need your opinion here. Ready? Jose Medina says, Gambo, you need to come up with your own thing. That straight up 2 o'clock is Burnsies. That Burnsies out. I go, straight up 2 o'clock. I thought it was a show thing, right? But Jose is saying it's a Burnsy thing, that I need to come up with my own thing. You think I should come up with my own thing?
Do you feel like you need your own thing?
I don't know. I never thought about it until Jose Medina said, it's a Burnsy thing, and you should come up with your own.
All right, let's think on it.
I feel like
you can have your own
I've
thing.
never been the driver, so when I was with Ash had a good afternoon. 2 o'clock. Similar to Burnsy, but Ash had his thing.
Lauren, I don't think we've ever heard it before, though, and felt the need to be like, I don't know if you're nailing the straight up 2 o'clock game. But you do a decent straight up 2 o'clock. It's more of an homage to Burnsy. Let him know we're still thinking about him as he's gone. So I think it could go either way.
All right. I just wonder if I should have my own thing or not. I'd have to come up with something and think about it. But just, all right. Just keep it in the back of your mind.
We love feedback, Gambo.
Something
we love
with
feedback.
with the Italy national anthem in the background. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh no! Now I've really got him.
This is why you're the ideas gal. That's why you're in that seat, kid.
I'll be in Italy in 3 months. Oh, I cannot wait.
Not that he's counting.
No.
Gonna go see my aunt for her birthday on July 7th in Catania. I'll be in Sicily. I go see my cousin Chiara and my cousin Denise. I can't wait to go see my family.
Are either of them the race car driver?
Denise is. I'm going to see my cousin Denise. She drives. They don't speak any English, like in Sicily, because it's poorer. They don't speak any English. But Denise drives the race car.
God, she sounds so cool. She sounds so cool.
And she's beautiful. Like, she's beautiful. And she drives a race car. You look at her like, okay, this girl, she's very, very pretty, and she drives a race car.
Bonus points.
I'll have to put a picture up so you can see my cousin. Yeah, she's not married, but I think she has a boyfriend.
Actually, we've got her on the line right now. Cut to her. Denise, you there?
My cousin, she won't speak any English, but but I'll be in Sicily in just a few months. Cannot wait to go. All right, let's talk about this. Where did it all go wrong? 4 years ago, 2 wins away from a title, 4 starters, 25 or under. 4. A lot of people are going to look at Beal. A lot of people are going to look at KD, but it's a lot more than that. It's a lot more than just the trade for KD. The trade for KD, and you know this. I'm one of the very few people.
You weren't down.
I was not in favor of it.
No.
Okay? I was I think I'm the only one here at this station that was not in favor of it.
I was in.
My feeling was that you just given up too much. I'm not opposed to getting Kevin Durant. I just didn't want to give up all the players and all the draft picks combined. But they did it, and I understand it. You had a chance to go get Kevin Durant. You had a chance to go win. Guys like this, one of the greatest players in the world in his prime, you went for it. Nothing wrong with that. But there were a lot of other moves outside of that. And most people will point to the Beal move and how much they got handcuffed by the Beal move. What's your opinion? Where did it all go wrong for the Phoenix Suns? To where we're talking about a team right now that's been eliminated from even the play-in game and is going to have a top 10 lottery pick going to the Houston Rockets.
So for me, Gambo, and what we're talking about here in terms of, again, looking back, just the position that you were in just 4 years ago, even 3 years ago, at this time 3 years ago, the Phoenix Suns were the favorites to win the NBA championship going into the postseason. They just won 64 games. They were in this incredibly dominant position. We're talking about if Booker and Beal are going to play tonight. Paul and Booker weren't playing those games because they had already clinched everything. They were already done. For me, and I know you feel this way too, when you look back on Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Suns moments where it went wrong, you remember shows you had with Burnsy that day, right? You kind of look back on those moments. So for me, I remember sitting in my hotel room in Game 3 of the first round against New Orleans. Kevin Zimmerman and I on the Empire of the Suns podcast just had a 15-minute nothing burger where we just kept going, Gambo. Who the hell is this team? Where did our 64-win team go? Who are these guys?
Was that when Chris Paul hit the wall?
That was sort of that. So that was when he sort of started to, I would say. But that was the same year where he had the 14 for 14 masterclass. That next series is when he really hit that wall. So I think for us to go to the Durant trade, the Beal trade, the Ayton trade, whatever, they had to put themselves in a position for those trades to be necessary in the first place. And it was this team just completely losing its form. And the more information that you were able to find where Monty and Crowder don't get along, Monty and DA don't get along. That really started to make sense with what we were seeing.
Game 3 New Orleans?
That was just the moment when it was clear that something was wrong. Like the foundation that they had built, it was more rickety than we thought. And then the next year, Gambo, people forget this about the KD trade. Like Mikal, Cam, all that, I totally understand. They were 25-25.
Right.
They were severely failing to meet expectations in the regular season at that point. So again, if you're not 25-25, if you're 35-15 at that time, I don't think you're trading for Kevin Durant.
So this is interesting. When the Phoenix Suns traded for Kevin Durant at the end of the 23 season, their championship odds jumped from plus 1,800 to plus 450. Now, I'm not a gambling guy, so I don't know all the details, but only the Celtics had shorter odds.
Sure.
They traded for Kevin Durant. They had the second best odds to win a championship. When they got Bradley Beal, and you had Durant, Beal, and Booker said, I got to be honest, I don't know how anybody's going to guard us. They opened up the 23-24 season with plus 600 championship odds. Only the Celtics and Nuggets were better. Vegas loved the Suns.
I did too.
They loved the Suns' odds, the chances that they could win a championship when they put this team together, as a lot of people did. But something went wrong along the way, and it could be coaching, it could be DeAndre Ayton, and it could be a center not working out. Not only DA, but also Nurkic. The lob threat. There is no lob threat. So DA didn't work out. You turned him into Nurkic. Nurkic didn't work out. So I think there's more to it in doing a deeper dive. I think initially people will say KD or Beal. Most people will say where it went wrong, should have never got Bradley Beal. I gave up a lot for Beal. We'll talk about that later on. But there are other things that happened that you could point to and say, okay, this is where it all went wrong. Part of the DeAndre Ayton trade was you gave up Toumani Camara.
Oh, my goodness.
Nothing against Ryan Dunn, Oso Ighodaro, or Colin Gillespie. Toumani Camara is a lot better than all three of those guys. I would trade all three of those guys for Toumani Camara right now.
Oh, my gosh, in a heartbeat. Even 3 months ago, Gamble, I was like, all right, I get it. Like, Toumani Camara is showing flashes. He's having a solid, second year, but let's calm down a little bit. Like, Grayson Allen is still, a solid NBA player. Like, we don't really know what Toumani Camara is right now. We know now, Gambo. He's going to be a very good player in this league for a very long time, and was one of those. I think what we're going to hit on a lot this summer, Gambo, is the margins. You need to nail the margins this summer. They nailed that margin perfectly with Toumani Camara, and then they traded him.
They traded him as a throw-in, and somebody in Portland was like, throw him in, and all right, well, let's just get it done. We'll throw him in. Now, you weren't able to make it work with Ayton. A lot of that was Monty. Monty, really, I think Monty did a big disservice to DeAndre Ayton, but then you come here, and I think the same thing with Budenholzer. I was with you the game when Nurkic didn't play, and Budenholzer didn't even talk to him. And I was at the game with you, and I remember you got him in the hallway. You got him in the hallway, and I walked by you guys, and I believe he said to you that nobody said anything to me about me not playing. Right?
They did not have a conversation.
No conversation.
And then I tried to follow up, and he did the no comment thing, and I was like, all right, you're done talking, big man. I totally get it. Appreciate your time and everything.
The egos on some of these coaches is mind-boggling to me.
It's crazy.
You can't have a conversation with a guy about what his role is. You can't tell him, hey, I'm going to sit you down right now, and here's why. And I want to get you back in the starting lineup because I think you could help me. So I think that we could look at KD. I think we could look at Beal. But I think there's so many other things that we could look at. The failed Jimmy Butler trade, the 2031 pick that they just gave up unprotected. I'm not saying that hurt them this year, but it may have hurt them in the future. Although they do have 3 first-round picks, it's just, may not be as good as that 2031. So there's a lot of things that played a part in where the Phoenix Suns are right now.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.